Okay, George had 3 times as many conkers as Ameen. After George collected 5 more conkers and Ameen threw 3 away, George had 5 times as many conkers as Ameen. And we are asked, how many conkers did George have at first? Okay, I will start off with drawing a block for George and Ameen. In fact, I'm going to start off with Ameen's block, and this is going to be the basic block. All right, this is what Ameen started off with, and I'm calling it my basic block because we know at the beginning it says that George had 3 times as many conkers as Ameen. So George's block, he's going to have 3 times as much as Ameen. Okay. All right, so all of these blocks are of equal value. That's important when you're drawing your model, for you to realize what your blocks represent, whether it's just a vague representation of an amount, or which bits are supposed to have equal value to each other, and each of these is equal to each other. Okay, now what happens? We're told that George collected 5 more, so we have to add 5 on to George's amount, and Ameen threw 3 away. Okay, I'm going to add an amount on for George. I'm going to label it 5. I don't know how 5 relates to the size of these blocks, so it's not to scale, but I know that. I'm the one drawing it. I've deliberately made it a slightly different size to these basic blocks, but this is an additional 5. All right, and what happens with Ameen? Well, Ameen actually throws 3 away, so the size of his block reduces. So I'm cutting into the block, and I'm going to label that 3. Okay, right, so how has this changed the situation? Well, it says once this happens, once we've added the 5 and taken away the 3, then George has 5 times as many conkers as Ameen. So whatever value this all represents, it's now 5 times this value. Now, because I don't know the correct scale, the correct size of this block, I can't just measure it. All right, I only know that the value of this is 5 times the value of, well, it's not 5 times the value of this, it's 5 times this bit here, all right, without the 3. In fact, I might just shade that in to make that clear. Okay, so this bit, we could call it, like a unit block, all right. This is what Ameen now has, and this is 5 times the value of this. Okay, right, well, how can we visualize this then? Okay, well, this block here is the same value as the old block of Ameen, so actually if I cut into it in the same way, I get a block here that's the same as this. I'm going to do the same with this one. That would be another 3 there, and I'm going to do the same with this one. All right, and in fact, perhaps if I shade this in, it will make it even clearer. Okay, that I now have here, there are 3 blocks here that I know are of the same value as this block. They're equal to this block. So these 1, 2, 3, 4 are all equal. Okay. So then if you think about it, whatever's left, all right, must be equal to 2 blocks, all right, because I should have 5 of these blocks. So whatever's left in the bar must be equal to the remaining 2 blocks. I might need to draw this out, or if I draw it out, it might make this clearer. So, or if I redraw this, so there's George, there's Ameen. I'm going to draw, this is Ameen's new block, all right, like that. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to draw, I'm just going to move these up. I'm going to rearrange all of these values in George's bar. I'm going to keep George's bar the same size, okay, because that whole bar represented. All right, and I'm just going to imagine if I had a really whizzy computer program, or if I maybe knew how to use this one better, I could perhaps reorder these. But I'm going to do, there's one. All right, so imagine this one's going here. This one I'm going to put here, all right, right next to it, and this one I'm going to put here. All right, so I now have these 3 blocks, which we know are of equal value to what Ameen now has, and so we're told that George's block is equal to 5 times Ameen's, which means that this must be my 2 missing blocks. Now, but I can put values in here, so let's have a look. Let's put the 5 in there. That's that 5 from up here, and then I've got 1, 2, 3s. Okay, so 3, 3, 3. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So this 3 is here, this 3 is here, this 3 is here, and these all together must be equal to 2 of these units. Right, 2 of these units. Okay, so we've got 5, add 3, add 3, add 3 gives me 14. All right, so 2 units is equal to 14, and 14 divided by 2 gives me the value of 1 unit, which is 7. So each of these has a value of 7. All right, and as do these, because these are the same ones. I just redrew them down here to try and make what I was saying a little bit clearer. Okay, so I've filled out my my bar model with lots of amounts. Let's go back and see what the question was originally asking. It says, how many conkers did George have at first? Well, what did George have at first? Let's have a look. He didn't have this 5, did he? All right, but he had these 3 units. The 3 times what Ameen's original amount was. Yes, so this is what we had at first. Okay, and each of these is worth 7 plus 3. Okay, so that's 10. George had 3 of them, so that's 30. So at the beginning, so at first, George had 30 conkers. I hope that helped.